I am going to tell a story about a community. This community is composed of Dalit jatis, which were considered before by so-called upper class as untouchables. And generally, these community have very small area for their land holdings, and these area are not highly fertile and considered productive. Now, this community in Nepal, there is a tradition of dividing parental property among sons. So the land fragmentation takes place with each generation. Like if you have 3 sons, then your land will be divided into 3 parts. And the land has been fragmented through the generation from their forefathers to their fathers. Now they have really small holding of land, and they have very limited options for their livelihood. And in that condition, in a very remote place, it's in uphill area, middle hill geographical setting, the younger generation and men of the communities up to migrate from their community to earn a living. These people generally work as haliyas, that is cattle herders, or haliyas, that is plowmen, or gothalas, that is cattle herders. But with the upper caste or generally well-off community member migrating from these mid-hills area as well, they have very limited opportunity to do these works. And there is also an issue of losing social capital among these different classes of people with the background of social political conflict that we endured in the last decade. So all these contexts make these people really in a situation that they have very limited options for the livelihood opportunities, and they are not very skilled labor. They do not have capital to accumulate to go to Gulf countries to earn some money like their neighboring community as well. In that context, an initial effort was conducted by District Agriculture Development Office in consolidating these groups to have some agriculture activity. But because of the time as well as approach of the initiative was little bit not suitable, the plan falls through and the group disaggregated eventually. Now, a very small amount of fund mobilized from small grant activities this year and technical advice from District Agriculture Development Officer that ginger could be one of the potential crop. Let's try and see if they are willing to grow. Around 35 farmers agreed to grow it in their community, and it happened to be the first crop that actually flourished in terms of like commercially selling proportion. Not comparatively not as much as other ginger producers around the country, but they were really happy with the output of 4 months of their labor and small amount of fund that FFF program mobilized to these groups. They were so happy that they do not want to wait for better market prices to sell it to the city center. They want to sell it immediately because they want to see the cash income from this land. In spite of the suggestion of the small grantee providing institution that let's wait for better market, because ginger market is sometimes controlled by across the border market of India. But they want to see the cash money and realize that it is possible to earn money from their land with a commercial agriculture intervention like ginger production. So they eventually went and sell it to the market. And The amount of money or the fund, it wasn't considerably high, but the amount of happiness it brought to these families were very worthwhile to document. And they provided feedback that they didn't know that small amount of fund and a little bit technical assistance from the District Agriculture Development Office and FFF intervention was able to aggregate them as a group, consolidate them as a group, provide an option that they don't need to migrate to cities or do the on-skill labor work, and can aggregate their production, and even provided them an option that the land left abandoned by the well-off families to go to the cities, settle down there, they can actually go through different tenure arrangement with these people to grow crop like ginger and produce more, has in fact not only built financial capital, but also as we put it out in the morning session, social and human capital. So this is the story I wanted to share with you.